Hello everybody and welcome to Kakushigoto episode 4 anime review. I think I've pretty much sussed out what they're doing in this show. It's going to be a light-hearted thing, and then we're going to end the segment with a, hey, here's something that's going to make you sad, or make you think, and make you a bit sad because you're thinking. That's basically how it went, you know? How each, like half, which I guess would be a chapter in the manga, half episode. It's going to make you sad at the end is essentially how it seems to be going. But yeah, no, this episode was pretty good. A lot of manga insight, I guess. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. The teacher is slowly becoming one of my favorite characters. My favorite one is the girl with like the top knot thing who works at the manga place. She's my favorite so far because she's pretty damn funny. Anyway, let's jump into what happened in this week's episode and go through it real quick. Let's do this. We open up with older Hime looking at the boxes and everything, basically explaining how, because the boxes were all prepared like years ago before she got to the age, everything was out of date and out of fashion, which was, I like that. That's a nice touch. I didn't even think of that. But she's like, yeah, but I like them anyway because my mum got them for me. And it's like, it made me sad already. Why do you do this? Not more importantly, back to the past, I guess, makes sense. We learn Kakushi has a Kazushi pen name type thing, and Best Girl doesn't want to tell her her pen name. I wonder if that will come up again, maybe. Who knows? Hime has got this fortune book where it's like however your name's written, how many strokes it takes, that it relates to your fortune somehow. Kakushi has good everything, but apparently he shouldn't have an artistic career, which is funny because he draws for a living. I know, right? Really funny. Apparently, though, also Kazushi, he gives that in as well, and Hime doesn't think, hey, that's our surname, you know? You could have said that this was a distant relative or something, but no, she checks that one too, and apparently doesn't have a lot going for him, so poor Kakushi / Kazushi. Boy, I'm glad I don't have to keep saying their names. But anyway, he talks to the teacher who is just outside about... No, this is later on. He talks to the teacher about names and saying about, hey, a lot of people are naming kids after characters, but that'll never happen to you because your characters' names are weird. And it's like, yeah, there's like Tights. Tights is the one I remember because it's important to the joke. And then he hears some woman who's called her dog Tights because looks like it's got tights on, which is a hell of a thing. Then he decides that he wants to change his pen name to something else because it's making his life harder having his real name, attached to his thing. But then the editor goes to change it, and they're like, "Has there been a fortune teller around that's shady?" Meanwhile, Hime at the house has been doing shady fortune telling with the caretaker. They've smoked out the house, which is, I'm surprised the fire alarm hasn't gone off, to be completely honest. But yeah, the editor goes there, he sees the caretaker and it's like, dude, she's totally my type, and it's like, whoa, that came the hell out of nowhere. But they think he's some spirit because they only see his silhouette. Except Hime seems to know who he is, so maybe she doesn't see him as a spirit. Who knows? It's not that important, to be honest. Now the editor wants to change his name to CEO because there was a half conversation going on where he may remembered he was the CEO from before. He was a bit confused, as you do. And then at the end of this segment, all the laugh ends because Hime's like, yeah, she's like, the caretaker was like, she knows we've got a guardian spirit around here, and it's like, you're talking about your mum, aren't you? And it's, it made me a bit, it's a big old it's like funny, and then it's like, now we'll make you sad. And it works every time. It's worked every time so far, and I was going to say I don't know if I like it. I do like it. I do like being slapped to the ground. Of course, they keep doing it. Now I'm onto them, so now they need to mix it up a little so that I don't keep expecting it. But no, I think, honestly, I think that's the bit I like more. I like the serious, somber moments more than the light-hearted comedic stuff, personally. That's just me. That's just preference. But yeah, let's get to the second half of the episode where there's tigers, and you know what that means. It's time for a reference. Hell yeah. So we open up with Hime asking, hey, you any good at drawing? And he's torn because on the one hand he wants to say, yes, I am very good at drawing because he wants to impress her. But on the other hand, he doesn't want her to find out he's a manga artist, so he can't, you know. And he's like weighing it up. It's good. Turns out at the office, I guess later on, he can't draw backgrounds anymore. So then he spends a good old chunk of time trying to draw backgrounds and not getting any actual work done. In which a few of the others convince him to stop drawing backgrounds by saying, "You're too good at this. She's gonna know you're a manga artist," which is exactly right. And then another guy is like, "Hey, what about coloring?" And he's like, "I haven't colored in years." So then he starts doing coloring, and the similar situation happens. That made me chuckle. That was pretty funny. But then he goes to an art class, and there's a girl teaching the art class who I think is the same girl that was teaching the cooking club. I could be wrong on that though, but I think that's her. Or it's the florist. I think it's the cooking club girl though. So yeah, she's doing that, and they've again more wrong ideas. She says his drawing is manga-ish, which makes him go, ugh, you know, and he's like, can't be doing that. He runs into the teacher outside, the like proper teacher, and she says basically, "Hey, don't cheat on the homework because I'll know." And then he's like, "Oh no, everyone's going to think she cheated because even though she didn't." So then he asks the teacher to come to the zoo with him on Sunday, and she's like, "Dato." So you know, there's that. He and Hime are walking around to look for something to draw at the zoo, and I'm like, weird. Where's the teacher? Teacher is behind them all, but basically he invited her so that she could see that Hime was drawing and not him, which I'd say it's an overreaction, but that's sort of his whole thing at the moment, isn't it? Yes, it is. They decide on drawing a tiger, which, you know, maybe it ate someone's husband, you know. That's a pop culture reference. I haven't seen that show. Apparently, all I know is about the meme and Carol effing Baskin, you know? That's all I know. And tigers. But, yeah, then the teacher is at a distance, as I said, eating by herself. Some kids show up and she makes it sound like the person who she's on a date with has died. And the kids feel really bad after that, while she is just confused. The tiger never came out of its pen to be drew, so, you know, that's not good. Hime did do a drawing, though. She drew them sitting on a bench from the tiger's point of view. That was a nice touch. That was a really nice touch. I like that a lot. Should have drawn them as slabs of meat, because the tiger wants to eat them or something. But no, she didn't do that. They were just people. Teacher had a great time on this Dato, even though she didn't communicate with him once, aside from thumbs up and waving, which I guess she's easy to impress. Who knew? But yeah, then the next day, the dude broke his arm again in the office. I just say the dude, you know which one. He breaks his arm all the time. So they've got to draw a zoo in said manga they're doing, and they decide, hey, let's draw it from the animal's point of view because none of us can draw animals. Basically just stealing Hime's idea. Hime should sue, to be completely honest. And then at home he's put the drawing on the wall. I thought she had to hand it in for homework, but whatever. I guess she's just like, look what I drew, and they're like, okay, yeah, you can keep that now. And yeah, then they get all feelsy again because he's like, weird, that looks familiar. So he pulls out the family album and there's a picture, similar thing from the tiger's point of view of the whole family together when Hime was littler, I guess. And it's like, feels. And then he says, like, I wonder if that drawing is from her point of view. And it's like, stop it. Why you gotta hit me right in the feels every time? So yeah, that was the end of this week's episode. It was good. Again, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Prefer the more serious, somber stuff. Serious might be the wrong word because there's no danger or tension, but it's still a bit like, oh, you know, it's like, oh. Not like a bad like it's not like, oh, I'm sad now. It's like a, oh, you know, it just leaves you to think. That's the best way I could put it. It makes you go, oh, like that. Deflating maybe, but not in a bad way. That's probably a terrible way of explaining it. But no, the funny stuff's funny too. Wondering if this is going to run out of steam. I think it's still got steam for a while. I'm enjoying it quite a lot, actually. I'm enjoying it very much a lot. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed as everything else has. But of course, if it does, it does. You know, I can't do nothing about that. But yeah, can't think of anything else to say other than I'm really enjoying it. And I do hope we get some closure on the mystery of where is Kakushi in the present, you know, when she's older. Because the fact that he's not in the opening is worrying. The fact that he's not been seen is worrying. Is he just gone into hiding because she found out he's a manga artist? Is he dead? That would be sad. I really hope that's not it. That will make me cry, legitimately. So yeah, who knows? I guess we'll find out. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out immensely. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.